Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a very special edition of Dark Depths Holiday Edition.
Get ready for the new year!
Yeah, Dark Depths, here we go.
We got Jeremy Franklin with us today.
That's about all I can play, or we're going to get muted on Twitch, so.
And Dark Depths is now silent.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to a very, very special edition of Dark Depths here. Holiday edition before an ARG Nats. My name is Chris Duran, and we are joined, as always, by Matt Cosmore and Tyler Norris.
Those sexy beasts.
And we have very special guest here with us today, Jeremy Franklin, a.k.a. DM073. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. My daughter's asleep. All is well with the world.
Yeah, sounds good. For now.
What was that awful song? What the fuck, David Hartley?
David Hartley, are you kidding me? It's the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground.
He's too young, guys. He's like, what, 16? So
well,
give him a break.
I don't know. It's just I'm David Hartley. It's like, what's that awful song, guys?
I'm surprised David Hartley was allowed to travel to Japan by himself. He didn't have to bring his mommy with him.
I'm right now because it's past his bedtime. Oh my god. David, I love you, but damn, dude, you gotta listen to some Digital Underground.
He's like, I'm 20.
All right, guys.
So yeah. Well, he says he's 20. Guys, he's 20. It's okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
If you don't know, no, Chan, we have a very good relationship with David Hartley. He was on the last episode of Dark Depths, so no worries.
He doesn't hate us. Don't worry.
All right. Well, now that we nailed that introduction,
another one in the bank.
Let's start off today. Let's talk about the main topic for tonight. ARG Nationals coming up this weekend.
Oh, dang straight! I am super pumped for that.
Yeah, man. Jeremy, why don't you tell us what you're going to be doing down there? I know you're going to be like front and center down there.
So I talked to, because Jim put out a while back.
Jim from ARG.
Yes, Jim from ARG. The almighty Jim from ARG. Jim put out a while back this kind of call for any kind of like YouTubers, bloggers, and stuff like that. If they were coming to ARG events, that they should message him, and then they could get like tables and stuff like that and help out in the event to kind of help press for kind of free press for ARG, and as well as free press for the YouTuber or whatever. So I knew for a fact that that around the time of Nats, I was going to possibly be free. So I was like, hey, Jim, is that open for Nats? And he was like, yeah, sure, man. And he's like, if you come on down, we'll give you the table and you can just run the feature matches. So I'm going to be actually going down there to do the live streaming and commentary for all of Nats, day 1 and day 2.
Wow, that's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I got a bunch of new headsets and actual good streaming equipment. Cough, cough. All my old stuff is crap. And so yeah, I'm going to be going down there, having some guest commentators and doing interviews with players, and all in all, having a great time. I got a bunch of people from my team going down too. It's going to be sick.
I might be compelled to watch some content then. I mean,
it's nice to know that this weekend for ARG Nats, there will be some competent coverage going on down there. So
100%.
We don't quite know as it stands right now whose Twitch it's going to be on. So it's either going to be on ARG Live, the main ARG, ARG2, or my personal one. We're going to get down there and kind of have all three of them set up. And then based on attendance for Nats, we're going to pick which direction it goes in. Because they're also running Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, the Spoils. They're doing Spoils Circuit Series.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, they're actually doing a Spoiled Circuit Series.
Oh, that's right, because in Florida, there's like 10 people that play the Spoils in some kid's garage, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there was that one guy when Kaijudo was dying. Who
Ken,
would
Pilcher.
Yeah,
think it was him.
he would like troll the Kaijudo page.
That's right. He still does. If you say his name, he comes back.
I'd be like, hey, you guys should play the spoils. Your game died. Come play the spoils.
Yeah. So based on attendance and stuff, we're gonna put it on one of the 3 streams. But there is going to be foul stuff happening all weekend. So
just curiosity, Jeremy, are you going to be doing some live tweeting on Twitter or anything to tell tell people what stream is going to be running on?
Yeah, for sure. So Twitter, my handle's like DragonMaster073, which is what DM073 stands for. Oh, shocker.
I learn things.
I'll send the information to Matt so that he can get it out there, just to make sure that people know where it's coming from, so that we know that when we know which stream it's going to be on, we can tweet it out. Obviously, also on the Facebook page and all that kind of stuff too.
Yep, so we're gonna have an ARG Nationals mega thread, hopefully, so everyone that's on the US page who wants to do, follow live updates or get some more information.
I'll try and do pairings and stuff too. I know that for a fact, one of the things that I'm pretty excited about is Jim from ARG just said that I pretty much get to pick whatever's gonna be on stream. So like, it's going to be really community-based, like what the community really wants to see from Nats, whether it be like, we go into round 5, let's see a middle-of-the-road table, or we're tired of refrain, play something else. Like, I'm going to be able to actually...
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I'm going to try. But, like, it's going to be cool. The fact that I'm going to get to have that kind of control over that and making sure that it's not going to just be like, 18 reflect refrain fairy aggro mirror matches. Thanks, Matt, for pumping that deck. Really excited.
It's on pump.
Deck's good.
I've been happy with it. Actually, shout out to oh man, I'm gonna forget his name, but I had an Italian player who just messaged me.
Shout out to nameless man.
No, I'm gonna find it before I finish. Frederico, there we go. He sent me a message. He just got second, I think, in a 60-player Italy event with my fairy list. He changed a few cards, so. Shout out to having fairies in an Italy meta. Can't wait to see that happen. So keep the stream alive.
Appreciate Matt's tribal boner.
It's real. It's super real, let me tell you. And I just recorded the Shadows video, and you'll hear the boner in that video introduction.
Just like a.
Hey guys, let me talk about a tribal deck real quick. Oh yeah,
I'll be right back.
But, so let's see. What you saw is going to be Twitter's going to be running up, going to have pairings, and going to see a whole bunch of fun stuff. Well, but
I'm going to try and live tweet the pairings as I can, so that at least people can see like who's at the top tables and stuff like that. Like everything that Matt does, because Matt's so good at being a head judge / running events. I'm just going to try and copy Matt Cosmore. That's my game plan.
Copy pasta Matt Cosmore.
Yeah, that Mike.
Who is Mike Cosmore?
Who is Mike Cosmore?
Oh my god!
I know it's
you know what?
Jeremy.
Honestly, hold on. If anyone comes, I'll say this right now, and I don't even care. If anyone comes to ARG Nats in a Mike Cosmore outfit, like I will get that person one of like my channel mats. Like I will just give it to you. Like we'll make sure. First person to come to me.
Got a feature mats here, Mike Cosmore.
Oh god! Please enter your name as that.
Like, do it. If you come to Nats, I'll put it right now. If you come to Nats as Mike Cosmore, first person to show up as Mike Cosmore gets a mat. Like snap.
So the Twitch chat right now, for those that can't tell, yes, Chris is currently over my house. I know Tyler and Jeremy can't see this, but this is why he is invading my webcam area.
Matt's just really, really good at Chris impressions.
Okay, bye.
See?
Chris has to go back to his couch now.
Cosplay confirmed. It's gonna happen. Sweet. Yes.
Oh god, if it actually happens, I might lose my shit. Like, I will legitimately lose my shit.
Alright,
And he's back.
Real talk though. I mean, like, what do you need? You need black rimmed glasses, a beanie, and tight pants. And
No,
the top hat, the top mic.
Oh, right. We're doing the mic version.
Cosmore.
Sorry, top hat, monocle. There we go.
And the mustache. The mustache.
Bonus points for mustache. I mean, come on. So besides doing the event coverage and everything, Jeremy, are you going to be doing anything on the side? Anything fun Gonna hit the town at all? Gonna do any fun stuff?
Well, I'm taking my wife and daughter along with me to the event,
Alice is going.
And yeah, Alice is gonna go, and a bunch of my teammates are driving down. So we rented a house together, and so my wife actually has a friend that she hasn't seen since she was like middle school, and they stayed in contact, who works for Disney.
Oh, sick!
So
she's
gonna get to reconnect with them. We're gonna do like downtown Disney on like Monday, and like try and do some of the other sites too. So it's gonna be good. Like we're still gonna actually like take a vacation, but like Saturday and Sunday it's just gonna be like force.
It's supposed to be force of will.
Yes.
Downtown.
And there may or may not be a force of will character showing up on Sunday.
Ooh, fun.
Noise.
Better show up on Sunday.
So on another note, did our potato friend get married today?
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Is anything special for today for anyone? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so everybody knows today was actually my anniversary from getting married. It's been 3 years. I haven't fucked it up yet.
Woo!
Nailed it.
Yep, took her to dinner. Yes. Then cleaned up the house some. Yes.
Congratulations, man. 3
Did you take her to Olive Garden?
No, I didn't, but in hindsight, maybe I should have. And I should have showed up with her like, hey, you want to go to Olive Garden?
Did you take her to Taco Bell?
Okay, what the fuck?
All right, guys, I got nothing on me, so I can't play this game.
You can buy her some music afterwards.
QR codes, baby.
Did you take her to Visa gift card? What the hell is this show right now?
Drunk Depths. We've officially crossed over to the episode that Chris always wanted to do. Drunk Depths.
This is not Drunk Depths because
Drunk of Will
haven't gotten there at all. So no.
Well, that's your first mistake.
Time for some shots.
If I didn't absolutely have work tomorrow, at 8 a.m.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Dating tips.
Hashtag dating tips.
Hashtag dating tips. Yes, I also am holding clinics on how to do relationships. So, any questions?
Which is funny because I'm the marriage and family counselor. But yet, Tyler's the one hosting the clinics.
Are you guys playing a game?
Do you want to play a game?
What is this show?
So, okay, what's our next topic?
All right, back on serious topics. And the Reflect Fairy deck was kind of an introduction to that. What are some decks you guys are expecting to see at ARG Nationals this week, and what do you hope or think will actually win ARG Nationals?
I'm telling you right now that I think that Fire Water Aggro is gonna show up at Nats.
Is that maybe where those 120 Gerdas went?
Yeah, probably.
Is Gerda good in Reflect?
Seems solid. I like playing 8 Lancelots in my deck.
Where also 4 of your Lancelots have flying too.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just like sprout wings. It's like it's I built a version of the deck. It can be pretty quick.
I think we're gonna see. Honestly, I think we're gonna see like blue red Reflect Refrain. Obviously, Regalia 28.regalia.deck, whatever Valentina, but whatever. Sorry, I don't really like that list. I played it and I still hated it.
Digital Underground.
There's going to be
combo
one
sure.
son of a bitch that didn't play test there with it.
Probably. Ad-lib at like 3 in the morning.
I honestly think that we're going to see some discard package Dark Alice lists. I know Tyler, you and I have been looking at this a lot. It actually has a pretty solid Reflect Refrain matchup based on even on the draw and on the play. We feel like we're close to a pretty strong list, but I feel like people who've been on Dark Alice from the get-go, we have a lot of discard stuff, and I love Reflect Refrain to death. But when you're when you're at 0 cards on turn 2, Reflect doesn't really help you.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
so I think that you're going to see
Refrain's
those.
still pretty good.
Yeah, refrain for searching, but then it's like cool and Yarl throws at you, and it's fine.
Yeah. I think we'll see Turbo Arthur.
I definitely think we're going to see Turbo Arthurs. I feel sorry for all the judges there.
Judge, he's cheating. How do you play this VSync?
Jeremy, get off the stream and come explain this.
maybe we'll see some. Maybe we'll see some. What's it called? Of that new Royce Townsend deck, Cthulhu's.
Yeah, Cthulhu. Incarnation.
Oh,
I mean, Dark
by the
Fire...
way, if Royce is watching, Royce, you suck.
Be right back, guys.
That every time I see him.
Yep.
Be right back.
Okay.
I think that it's possible for us to see, obviously, the run-of-the-mill Reflector Frame Mono Red, the aggro list. It's going to be played. And, of course, the Alice's World is going to be there as well.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to wager that 75%, if not more, percent of the people playing that list are going to misplay.
And get disqualified.
Yeah, 100% on that one.
Yeah, there's...
Me personally, though, like, it's Valentina 2.0 is still horribly missing, and I'm going to just chalk it up to the fact that it's the second hardest deck to play in the format, with obviously Alice's World being first.
See,
and
I'd agree with you on that, man, just because I think that people are kind of shying away from it, because if you fuck up, it's over. Like, there's no recovery. Like, you can miss a trigger with Reflect and Refrain and be okay one time. But in Valentina, you could miss that one trigger, and then your J-Ruler dies. And
then you have 28 Regalia sitting on the board with literally nothing else.
Like, I'm gonna pump my cat. Like, what are you gonna do? I think that if someone has been playtesting the deck and has like a really proactive sideboard that happens to coincide with what they play against, I think it's got a shot.
Yep. Again, a lot of that deck is knowing, okay, this is what the matchup I'm faced against. This is exactly what I have to do on turn 2, 3, 4, and 5 to either have that OTK presence or figure out what the line of play is that's going to ultimately win you that match. So it requires a lot of background knowledge and a lot of just meta knowledge of what other cards people are playing, which is something that seems to be lacking from this game. You know, there's so many different angles that you can take with Reflect, Refrain, that everyone's building these different decks, so it's a little more difficult to think about what every possible thing is, because when you have a ruler that everyone's playing that you can tutor for any one card, it opens up the availability to put these one-ofs in your decks that can very heavily swing a match in one way or another.
Yeah.
So the Valentina decks have a very, very long road ahead of them, but there's absolutely no reason why one shouldn't be in top 8 at ARG Nationals.
What deck? Maybe top 8 at ARG Nats?
Valentina 2.0. And Baby Alice joining us on stream. Baby Tax. And then the other one that I think is I would personally love to see there, because we've tested it and we've changed out those crappy Guinevere's for other cards. But American Incarnation list is actually really, really solid. Turns out when you don't have to use Guinevere's for Cthulhu fodder and you actually make it a relevant card, the deck becomes better. Just throwing it out there. Had to throw those daggers out one more time.
So do you think it's possible? I don't know if people have been doing like testing or not, for there to be a Valentina list that isn't 28 Regalia that can still perform? Or do you think it purely has to be 28 Regalia?
I'd say God's Art Control. I think a God's Art Control list, I mean, with a lot of tweaking, I think it'd be really good. Like, I almost want to say, like, you kind of almost take, like, the Turbo Arthur kind of style, but, like, tweak it a little bit and then use Valentina 2.0. Like, I get it. Like, you can't technically Turbo Arthur because you don't have Reflect Refrain, but, like, that same kind of thing where you, like, put your opponent on lockdown and then just kind of, like, use God's Arts to, like, just screw your opponent up really bad. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, there's so shout out to Justin Lockett, or BMO as he's known as. His Valentina list from our Gamers Gauntlet event this past weekend was a 21 Regalia list, or maybe even 20.
Yeah, it was good.
And that goes to show you the more controlling build that the deck can have. And he went undefeated in the Swiss. I would also like to bring that up as well. So
really, what did he? So did he just? I mean, for lack of a better term, did he just like shit the bed in top 8 or what?
He scooped because he already had an invite, and he was in first seed. Obviously, like he should have been in the finals, and it would have been actually a very, very close game.
Because he was playing like Justice of Godsword and stuff like that too.
Exactly.
To just like say like, yeah, I've got a 20-20, you know, it's like a 24-20 Valentina.
This is gonna kill whatever you play, basically.
This is gonna kill whatever you play with, like just like have double justice in hand. So like even when they swing with something else, you're just like, well, kill that Valentina too. So yeah, like it's just good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's like any other decks that could like maybe sneak into a top 8. I don't know. What numbers are you guys hoping for down at Nats?
What I would love to see. There's. Not counting on the duplicate doubles, last time I checked, there's about, I want to say like 170 individual invites. And then you got to imagine there's people on top of that who have a ton of points. Then you got to remember it's Orlando, not everybody can go. I'm hoping for 80 to 100.
I was going to say, if it hits 100, I'm calling that like a big victory.
Yeah. I think if we can get 80 to 100, I would be very satisfied with that. I'd be 7 rounds day 1, or 7 to 8 rounds day 1, and then a cut to top 16 day 2. And they're running a ARG circuit series the second day as well. So like if you don't make it in a top cut, you're going to be able to play in a circuit series to get points for the next season. You know, starting then. And the other cool thing that they're doing, I don't know if they're starting it with Nats or not, but I think so, is your entry into a circuit series gets you unlimited entries into side events.
Huh.
Oh wow!
So like
that's pretty.
They shift side events to being like, rather than like buy boxes and stuff like that, it's like more points, invites to future events, stuff for the point wall, the prize wall, stuff like that. But like it's literally just like unlimited. Like you finish one, you can jump right into another for no cost.
All right, I can get down with that.
I can fucks with that. That's pretty good.
That was I found that out today on because of the ARG like YouTube video talking about the season 2. Like I said, or second half of season 3. Like I said, I don't know if they're starting that for the Nats weekend, but from the video, it sounded like they are. So Jim and Ultra Reality Games, but like that would be really sick to be able to have people just constantly able to play in events, even if they don't necessarily make top cut day 2.
Yeah, I mean, and the main thing that I'm really excited about this tournament is we're actually going to see, if we get the good numbers, like between 80 plus, we're going to get to see what decks are actually really influencing the meta, like actual big lists.
I agree.
And I mean,
I have a list that Josh is playing that I really want to do well, just because he's been repping that deck so hard. But like,
like, if of the like 8 decks that we talked about, there's one of each in top 8, then well, fuck me, it could work. we got that, but I'm like really hoping that we get like a strong like sense of where the meta is at, so that new decks can be developed to help counteract what is actually like the best.
I agree.
I see Noble Stinger. He says, "Please talk about the meta." Is there like a specific question that you have about the meta, or just like what we believe is the current state of the meta, or what are you looking for, bud? But anyways, yeah, because I mean, this is like a great like almost like a jump start to going into the AGP season. I mean, like everyone that's going to Virginia is going to be watching this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be really
everyone.
Really awesome.
I think like teams to watch, or players to watch, I would definitely keep an eye on the Tavern guys.
Yep.
I know that for a fact that Tufford, Cosentino, Quinn, don't know. I know that Kyle's not going.
Chaz is going to be down there.
I would imagine that. I don't know if Brian is going or not. I feel like he is, but I don't know.
I know Chaz. I know Chaz is going for sure because him and Zach drove together.
Right, and then I know Quinn's going.
So Team Bahamut is going. So gonna throw this out there right now. Top 8 prediction: 1 Bahamut, 1 Valentina 2.0, 6 Reflex. Just throwing it out there. I'm assuming that's what it's gonna be. Maybe 2 Bahamuts. We'll see.
I mean, okay. Bahamut is good. I mean, if Bahamut can flip early, he can just put on the kind of pressure that people just can't recover from.
BRB.
No problem. The current state of the meta. Tentatively speaking, Noble Singer. I think that the meta, it's like, in my opinion, it's kind of aggro bursty.
Oh yeah.
Like
kill you turn 3 bursty.
But like almost abnormal amounts of damage. So you're either going to be playing decks like the fairies that Matt brought, that degenerate fox. Or
turn 3 kill, gotcha.
Or there's going to be like the red aggro reflector frame decks. There's going to be like the Bahamuts, the Valentinas. The Valentina being just a little bit slower. Just a little bit. It depends if she... I really think on that deck, it kind of... Part of it is skill, and part of it is kind of what you draw.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if it can be a little bit weird. If you don't get, like, the right regalia, it could probably be a little bit awkward.
Being able to tutor for them is also fine.
I'm sorry?
Being able to tutor for regalia, though, is also something...
I mean, that helps a lot. But that's why I was saying it's a little bit slower, because they're having to tutor for regalia if they don't like, curve out appropriately. And so I think that if you wanted to play the focus on the idea of our control, if you're looking to play control in this meta, you have to, this is my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, you have to play, like, super high interactive control. Like, there's not like I'm going to counterspell this, or I'm going to counterspell that. I feel that it's more of like, I'm going to kill that, like, really bad. And that's why I'm a huge proponent of Dark Alice, because the ways to fight against Reflect and Refrain is to attack the hand, so their draw mechanic becomes poop, and you're playing, like, usually either a combination of, like, mono black, red black, or some kind of variation of like that, and you're trying to just, like, kill their guys and just get Dark Alice out, which has a huge tempo swing when she hits the board, and then just try and win out through there. So, could Reflect and Control work? I think so, but you gotta...
Italy.
I mean,
Italy.
What I was gonna say is you gotta be playing, like, a list that you've tested, like, and tested hard.
Italy.
Because
Italy.
You saw the like, a lot of people have seen the Italy control list, and to most Americans, that shit was weird as fuck looking.
Yep.
Like, you're like, what exactly am I looking at right now? Weird. And what I have to say is 2 points to that is that Italy is a very different place for the game.
Yes.
They are a country that is deeply rooted in playing control.
Yes, very much so. They are probably the best control players in the world. I mean, from a general perspective.
Every time Daniel Spagno, like, touches a card, it turns into a control card. And
Lancelot, that seems like a control card.
Control, we don't. We use it as a blocker. But and I'm not discrediting, when I make jokes here, I'm not discrediting Italy in any way, because I mean, we saw the top 8 from Worlds. How many Italy players was it? 3?
Yeah.
Like 3 of them?
There was 2 from one team, and I think there was either a third or even.
Yeah, it was like 2 teammates. It was like Daniel Spagno and, like, his teammate or whatever, or some shit like that. I don't remember, but it was 3 Italians, regardless, and they're, like, all control players.
I hear it.
Yeah.
And so they're.
I hear Daniel Spano being control-y.
He is. I mean, actually, well, most of you haven't got a chance to meet this guy. That dude is huge.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, 6'4". He doesn't even look like a card player. When I met him, like, who the fuck is this guy? He's got, like, sweet arm tattoos, like a super deep voice. He's like 6'4", and he's just like, You want to play nerd games? It's like, fuck yeah! Let's play nerd games.
Teach me!
Teach me, senpai. Thank you, David Hartley, for that. Yes. So, yeah, 3 Italians. And
David Hartley's coming to Virginia.
Yeah. Oh, my God. If
is.
there was ever a time I wish I could go to an AGP, it would be the one where David Hartley is going to be at, and I can't go. It sucks.
Rip.
Sorry. It's winter.
We have to wait. We have to wait until the next set drops, Tyler.
Fuck me. Don't remind me. Thanks.
Welcome.
What about Alice's World?
Alice World?
Fun fact, most people can't play that deck properly and will not get to even top 64 with that deck.
Like, it seems like they'll be doing well.
If 90% of players can't play Valentino 2.0 right, 99% of players can't play Alice's World right.
Well, the thing with Alice's World is, like, it'll feel like they're doing well because they're not losing, but it's because they're drawing every round. So, like... Yeah. You can't make top 8 when you've drawn 4 out of your 7 rounds. Like,
I also hate
don't be the guy that goes up to the booth and asks that question. If you got 3 draws, don't.
You're like, I'm 3-0-4. Neat. You're not getting anywhere near top 8. It's just not going to happen.
That's a nice 13 points for you.
Yeah, nailed it.
And so, if you want to go to that event and you really want to play Alice, the Alice World deck.
Practice.
It's the only way, because
like
the ratio of misplays in that deck are like through the roof.
Like stop watching our show. Stop watching our show right now and go practice.
Yeah. Just be like, screw those Dark Depths guys. I gotta go practice.
Really do.
Go.
I'm going to hate because you know it's going to happen. Someone's gonna pilot it. And it's gonna be like the round 1 feature match, and I'm just gonna be like,
and there's gonna be like a huge shit the bed, like missed automatic triggers or something.
This is my dad. This is my nightmare.
Okay, like the whole Morgiana reflect interaction. Please don't dig that up. You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, fun fact, I actually had to give someone a match loss in top 8 of our last event because they misplayed Alice's World. And it was one of those things where it's just like, it was round after round, he was getting a penalty. And this is one of those cases where force of will rules are just super lax for this, but whatever. That, he was very close to just getting DQ'd from the event because of not being able to resolve Alice's World deck mechanically properly, or the mechanics properly. So if the judges are watching, I would not be surprised if there's a handful of DQs at Nationals. I have no idea how many people that they're going to have on the floor for Nationals, but I do
think that the people that have been practicing this past since the sets dropped, or have been doing proxies when the set was being spoiled, are going to be the people that mechanically, if you're a tight player, you're going to have a higher chance of just advancing because you're playing tight.
Yep.
You don't always have to be the best player as you're playing tight.
Yeah, the other thing that is true is like, I'll say that. I mean, I'll say this for the same thing of like Turbo Arthur decks. Like, and we've had this conversation before. Like, if people are just smart and have turn 1 removal, like, then those decks have a much lower likelihood of doing well.
Yeah, kill their Elvish Priest. Kill the Elvish Priest.
I can't even.
Soul Hunt. Soul Hunt is your best friend.
Rapid Decay.
You know what?
Unseen pressure for crying out loud.
Priest.
Play Rapid Decay in your main decks. If you're playing against Elvish Priest, play Rapid Decay, please.
Or Unseen Pressure.
Or Thunder, or Demon Flame, anything. Any one of those 1-drops.
And just respond to the trigger. That's the biggest thing is, like, a lot of people can get a lot better in this game if they just wait until their opponent does something, and then you're like, oh, okay, this. And then they're like,
thank you for wasting your reflection.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't. So for all the events that I judge, and I must have judged something like 20+ forcible events now, I can't tell you how important it is to just know your deck and know the plays that you need to make. Because more and more and more, with Reflect being able to filter the deck, get you the cards that you need, this game is just coming down to misplaying or not. Like, it really is. If you're a tight player and you play everything, execute it correctly every single point, as Tyler was saying, You will literally advance just because your opponent is going to mess up and give you the win on a silver platter. Be like, oh, I don't know how to play my deck. Here you go. Here's the win.
Which is one of the weird things of why I actually really like Reflect Refrain. Because when we first got into Force of Will, I was very prominent of the fact that like Force of Will did a really good job of eliminating as much as possible the element of luck from who wins. And then we entered into Baja Blast format, and it was, can you win a die roll? Good job. But like now with Reflect Refrain, it really feels like it really feels like it's back to that. Like it's back to skill. Like it actually comes down to skill. And for me, like even though everywhere is Reflect Refrain, if the meta is based on skill rather than luck, I'm cool. I'm hands down cool with that.
Yeah. And what a lot of people have to remember is basically you have to treat this is at least how I picture it. Is with reflect and refrain, their abilities is basically like you take your opponent's hand of cards and say they already have 5. Each ability that they can activate on reflect and refrain is an additional card in their hand. And the thing about that through time, it's been proven in like every card game I've ever played in is the more cards in your opponent's hand that they have, sometimes there's just so many options that they're never going to pick the most optimal play. So again, just to like to recircle back around is just playtest.
Know your deck.
Playtest. Know your deck.
Know your deck.
Know your interactions.
You heard it here, folks. Tyler Norris, 2015. Quote: "Get good."
Yes, and it's like if you know your deck, it's gonna be. I honestly think that you could, if it's 7 rounds, you could be 4-0 before you're going to be in like facing someone that is mechanically as good as you if you practiced.
Yep. I agree.
Unless 100%. You like get nut smashed and you draw Zach Tufford on round 2. It's like I'm 1-0. It's like Zach Tufford. Well, fuck, I'm 1-0.
Well, guys, I guess we're going 0-2 beers in this event. All right.
Well, if it's anything like me, I am always ready to donate money for my X2 drop every tournament I go to. So. Let's see. A question.
As a quick note that I'd like to address to everyone as both head judge and someone who's again judged a lot of events, please make sure that you are also keeping your opponent honest and you are watching for slow play. That is definitely one.
Tyler,
of the
what's your rule about slow play?
Hello, friends.
I think we have the same rule about that, about the reading hand and reading the field.
Yeah, if you can read every card in your hand on the field, your opponent's field, and then give it a couple seconds for reading, to picture reading each card in your opponent's hand. If your opponent has not done anything by the time you're reading everything on the board, you can call a judge and ask them to come watch your match because you're concerned about slow play. A judge will be obliged. This is not a slow play
call. This is just to ask a judge to watch.
Yeah, because a lot of players are nervous because I don't want to be. No one wants to be the guy to be like, "Hey, judge, this guy's slow playing me and he's being a dick." Or he could just be a guy who didn't practice with his deck and has no idea what the hell to do. So just call a judge over, just say, "Hey, could you spectate my match just to make sure that the flow of the game is going correctly?" And any judge will be obliged to watch because they will understand your concern. And if they clearly see that someone is just like, 45 seconds before an action, it's not okay. It's not.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And I'm pretty sure most judges that are coming into this game have either, again, I hate throwing out other games out there, but they probably have a Magic the Gathering background, at least the judges I know. They have a competitive background as well, so they know what to look for when opponents are slow playing. On top of that, please be aware that there's a difference between slow playing and stalling. Slow playing is just going to be a warning, where stalling is going to be a DQ without prize. If your opponent is up a game, and let's say there's 15, 20 minutes left on the clock, it's game 1 went long, let's just put it that way, and they're just sitting there and flipping reflect and refrain back and forth without really doing anything, and make sure everyone's hearing this, taking a long time to decide on each one of those activations, you need to call a judge for stalling, because that is 100% a prime example of someone who is doing nothing to progress the board game, or sorry, the board state in the game, and is just trying to eat the clock on you. Please be super mindful of that. So if they're taking upwards of 20 seconds per action, they are stalling you, and that is a DQ. So those are my two disclaimers for those that are going to ARG Nationals, the difference between slow playing and the difference between stalling, which is, again, a DQ without prize.
And ways to pick up on your opponent is just watch their game one.
Yes,
and
exactly.
If you're watching your opponent, some players, after they finish the turn, they just look at their opponent's board and they don't do anything. But if you watch your opponent's body language and watch how they play the game, and if they're a fairly quick player, very precise actions in their turn, then all of a sudden in game two, it looks like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They might be slow playing you. They might be stalling you out to try and snag an easy victory. So just pay attention, play tight, and you'll probably do fine. Oh, and practice. Damn it.
Practice.
Practice.
Did we get some more of the questions? I looked like we had some questions filling in the chat.
I'll take a look. Let's talk about, hey, Matt, while I look through some questions, you want to talk about Digital Underground for a minute?
Yeah!
Do the Humpty Hump.
So if you haven't already, please go to YouTube. Digital Underground, Humpty Dance. You definitely need to give it a listen. So the deck spotlight, ooh, I forgot to check on that. We'll have to check on that after this video. So Chris is also on part of this team, but Gamers Gauntlet has actually very, very, very recently formed a more competitive team.
Stormspark.
Yes, the rebirth of Stormspark, apparently, but obviously I'm helping them out. Chris is helping them out. Chase Cosgrove, Daryl, a bunch of other guys, Kyle Ackerman, and all these guys either come from Magic or we all played Kaijito together. Our accomplished list is probably this long. PTQ 2 Chase played on the Pro Tour. We're competitive players.
God, Chase is a good card player.
Got that? Yeah, Chase is actually one of the best card players I've known in any card game ever. So I was not surprised when he won. All right, all that disclaimer out of the way about who we are. So I think it was Chase who originally came to me about the Humpty deck and was like, I'm basically the person who's always going to be playing Yamada. I will always find a way to make him playable. And it's like, okay, so we got this, Reflect guy. So what does he really do for the deck? It's like, well, you get to tutor and you get to card filter. That is the combo player's dream. It's the best combo ruler you could ever ask for. So I was like, all right, what are we going to do with this deck? It's like, well, we can't go Graveyard Hate anymore because Dark Alice is going to be a fan favorite. So you want to not have that around. And
hit that. I
was so worried when I saw Dark Alice's front ability. I'm like, holy shit, the Yamada players, what's going to happen? And
I was really scared. And the other part of that, too, is when you're manipulating your deck to where you're going to play it all in one turn and you don't have Yamada in the graveyard, it's going to give your opponent a sense false of security that they're just going to die on the next turn and they don't see it coming. So they're going to foolishly tap out for it. And then once you go into game 2 and 3, you're going to create a board state where they're like, oh man, am I just dead? How many cards does he have in hand? He has 5 cards in hand. If I just tap out, am I dead? So do I not progress at board state? Do I have to hold up 2 will every single turn? It really puts a psychological warfare, on your opponent. So I made the first draft, and it's like, yes, we have to go Cheshire Cat, Humpty Dumpty, no surprise. I had Lay the Foundation, a bunch of just crappy cards in the original list, and I basically gave it to the team and look, this is my initial shell. I don't have time to play test this. I know you guys want to save it for ARG Nats. Well, we were hoping to send someone to ARG Nats, didn't have the opportunity because I think family came up for Chase, who again ended up just winning the thing anyways. And it was like, all right, I'm going to give you guys this deck, let you figure out what needs to be in it, and just go to town on it. Rewriting Laws, or, yeah, that's the name of the card. That's a card that just wants it wants to be played in combo decks, and, it's so good. So I was like, sure, it's probably fine, throw 4 of those in it. But what really blew me away is when they came back to me, and they're like, yeah, so we put 4 of Deep Blue in the deck. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Absolutely got to be kidding. Why? Why is this a thing? It's like, well, you can actually just go turn 2 Humpty. It's an 8/8. Beats a lot of removal that people are playing right now, and then you just casually kill them on turn 3. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's pretty good. Turns out being able to ramp in a Humpty Dumpty on turn 2
it
is absolutely insane.
Okay.
Deep Blue is an absolute MVP of the deck. Not only does it let you ramp into turn 2, but it turns all of your blue stones into green and red, so you can just be like, oh, I only have a blue white stone. Oh, Demon Flame anyways, let's go.
That's what I would do all the time with my Priscia Tempo list when I slid it into Blazer. People were so confused. They were like, why did you do this? And like, okay, you forget that Thunder's a thing, bye.
Yep.
It's good.
So
psychological warfare, yeah.
It blows my mind, and just you know, with how important it is to have the different options that having Deep Blue or having Rulers of Moria gives you. You know, we opted for the Demon Flame Artemis bow combo just for obvious reasons, and it's like it's getting more and more important that you're having that turn one answer to either the Elvish Priest or whatever they're playing. So it's just like we want to have more ways to ensure that we're having that red will on the first turn of the game. So
free QR code.
If you can actually scan that free QR code for somebody.
So you guys are running 12 Regalia in that list, right? 4 bows, 4 Change the Worlds, 4 Deep Blues?
Yes, 12 total.
And it works. Scan it, damn it.
Hold on, give me a second. I'll scan it.
Hold on. Those of us on Dark Depths try to steal it from him.
So the deck is absolutely amazing to play. And again, like any good combo deck, it's very simple to understand what the deck wants to be doing, but it's very difficult to master.
Suck it, Chris.
And knowing when you need to be able to activate the combo. So
did you get it, Jeremy?
Yeah, I did.
I told you guys it works.
This guy.
1 willpower point.
So anyone looking for a fun deck to play that wants to keep our Lord and Savior Yamada alive, that is definitely. Look for it tomorrow on the Forceful US website.
I can't wait till he rotates. Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you. I absolutely hate you.
Well, I mean, Chase did, I think, at least one round during the tournament, during the ARG tournament. Chase did 9,600 damage on turn 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good times.
He's like, so we're like, so you're dead this game, you're dead game 2, so I win the round, and you start the next round with 2,400 life? Is that how this works? Is that how this game works?
Giving me codes, Tyler.
No, let them scan them.
Yeah,
it works, guys. Can confirm.
It's like a probably 30, 40 second delay, so good luck getting that up.
I'm going to hold it. I'm so strong.
No,
Stop
but
moving it.
I will admit, you know, I'm not much of a... Because in my background experience from card games, I never really got combo stuff. So, like, whenever I would see Matt post a Yamada list, it was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. I don't know what this combo stuff's all about. But every gosh damn time, I'd be like, this is so much fun to play. So it's cool to see that you guys have another, like, really relevant Yamada deck. Because, honestly, Yamada, I am on the Yamada hype train. Like, I love it. It's super fun.
It's the fastest Yamada deck we've put out yet.
Yeah, it's also the best Yamada deck, but I mean that just is really hands down.
Which is the best part that it was also the first Yamada deck you put out.
I think my favorite ever Yamada deck that I played was my buddy Gabe's, who we did a combo with Leaves of Yggdrasil with it. So we would attack it 8 times, sack it with Gwen, put the Kusanagi sword trigger on stack, put the Leaves of Yggdrasil on top of it. Leaves would bring back Yamada. Kusanagi sword we'd attach to Yamada and then attack you 8 more times.
What the fuck?
That was fun.
Wow.
That's pretty insane.
The Flame Master, wow, whoever is at Ice Kent, you are insanely wrong that Grim is dead. Sorry, Grim is going to be playable until he rotates. It's probably a solid tier 1.5 right now with the list
our tutor overlord.
Yeah, like
I think Grim Burn is in a good spot. I think Bloody Grim is in a good spot.
Oh, my favorite
just because of Matchstick.
Yeah, thank you. Matchstick Girl is insane. That's.
I still think Bonsai Grim could be good again.
Yeah, I think Bonsai Grim's actually fine because it's the same clock. Like you want a deck that's either winning on possible turn 3 or guaranteed, heavy quotations, on turn 4, and that's still Grim. Like, I don't think people are playing it right now because just Reflect takes over everything, but it is what it is.
I mean...
In before Grim wins Nats.
I would lose my mind. Lose my mind.
Oh my god. I'd lose it. I would just lose it.
Someone said bring in the dude that cosplayed Grim. Hi, I'm here.
Literally right here.
It's I think Grim has a chance because it's one of like the few decks, in my opinion, that can play Split Heaven and Earth in the main, and it is good enough that it will still cheese people.
I mean, I played against the Bahamut player at the ARG round 2 or round 1 and got Split Heaven and Earth game 2, and I was like, well, guess I'm just dead. Like, that card is still a thing.
It is. It is.
I was playing Reflect Refrain, and I didn't have Refrain flipped. I was just sitting there, you know,
fine.
I was just like sitting there adding counters. And it's like turn 5, and he's like, "Split Heaven Earth you?" And I'm like, "Yep, see ya. Let's go to game 3."
Like, I just think if there is a deck that can somehow squeeze it in there, a lot of the stone bases are being greedy right now. They just are greedy. But what a lot of people remember, it's like, I don't know, man. I'm usually curving out my stones at like 4. That's not that much damage. Wrong, sir. Wrong. Because I confirm that it actually happened with Chris Durand. If you go way back to Catterday, like him getting split by my friend the game before top 8. The match before top 8. And it's just like, and guess how many dual stones Chris was running in his deck? 4.
Yeah.
Running 4, and Split was still relevant. Now the mana base is even like more greedy, like 4 dual stones out. If you're not killing your opponent, for some reason, if you don't kill your opponent, and they're running Split, you could just get slammed for like what, 2,400 damage in 1 turn by 2 cards.
Yep.
You could just lose. Like they're like swing Bahamut, hit like tap my Lave and my Excalibur. Okay. Oh, it took 14. Okay. Like split. You're way dead.
So basically, we're gonna play Mono Red Vlad.
Mono Red Vlad. I mean, if you can do it.
Mono Red Vlad, just like call stones and cycle. Oh boy.
Someone on the chat said go get the costume, and I was like, it's not gonna. I'll grab the crown and the sword.
Nailed it. Good enough.
I think that's completely.
Yeah.
And speaking of Vlad, I know a lot of players missed it, and I would not be surprised if we see it at Nationals. But what Italy was doing is they had their Reflect package and all their normal stuff main deck, and then they had Vlad in the sideboard, because it turns out it's really awkward when you sideboard into Vlad and your opponent doesn't, and they're like, so this is just going to kill you. Reflect is doing literal nothing for you, by comparison, and I'm just going to drain you with Vlad. And I think it was like 6 out of the 8, Reflect decks had Vlad in the sideboard from, I think it was 2 or 3 events ago now.
I mean, Vlad is still good. The card
is still good.
It's like people underestimating the card, or Scion of, what is it, Scion of Ancient Lore or whatever?
Scion of Ancient Lore.
Yeah, Scion of Ancient Lore.
Siege right now?
Siege right now? ETB, 800 life point swing. When something is like influencing like that much, don't underestimate the cards. It's like,
it's not.
Is Vlad good? Yes. Does that mean Scion is good? Of course.
All right, guys. Well, it's 11 o'clock, so we should probably move to some questions and then call it a night. So if anybody in the chat has some questions, I will be pulling them from chat now, and we will be happy to answer them for you, as long as they're not overly ridiculous.
Kalima!
Scroll up real quick and see if there
You feel free to ask why Tyler's forehead looks so big on his potato.
Oh, so mean.
Oh.
Hold on, let me go get my daggers real quick.
Fuck.
Wait, the daggers in my house? Where are you getting these from? Did you bring daggers with you?
Wait, Matt, or Chris, I'll give you the sword through the screen.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna go stab Matt.
No, please don't.
Here it comes.
Now he's gonna be coming in. He's supposed to be reading the chat right now.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. I've got it right here. Did Tyler get a new mic?
Sally is trying to sleep.
Potato as usual.
Actually, it is the same mic. It just decided to not be potato-y. So you are welcome.
Did all of us play Kaijudo?
Did everyone play Kaijudo? Everyone here did.
Yeah, everyone in this here did play Kaijudo.
That's how I met these. Well, not Tyler. I met Tyler with Force. I met Chris and Matt through Kaijudo, and that was how I met the Force. Thanks, Matt.
I met Matt. I don't think I met. Did I meet Chris in Kaijudo?
If you met me in Kaijudo, you probably met Chris in Kaijudo.
I think Chris. It was that phase in Chris's life where he wouldn't talk to strangers.
What phase?
I don't know. He was
still current.
Chris was my teammate yet arch nemesis for life in Kaijudo. So
you can't. Well, you can't beat him at card games, man.
I can't. I actually can't.
I remember the KMC where you showed up just to scoop to everyone so that your teammates could get into. I remember that. It was like my first experience with Matt Cosmo. I show up at the KMC. Matt sits down for round 1, scoops. Sits down for round 2, scoops. Sits down for round 3, scoops, and leaves. I'm like, oh, bye, Matt.
That's awesome.
The things we do for teammates.
I got to meet Matt was actually at Champs, and he was screaming belligerently in the hall.
I'm pretty sure I met you at Champs, Tyler, but it might have been like a brief encounter.
I must have been like a very brief encounter, because
I wasn't cool enough to go to Champs.
I mean,
hey man, basic
did you qualify
never remember, never forget.
Jeremy?
No, I didn't get. I only got to do 2 KMCs before Kaijudo died. The Gamers Gauntlet one, where I took 17th, and then the one in Pandemonium, where I took.
Where was Pandemonium?
Took
in Michigan.
10th. I took 10th because of a stupid freaking Shaman Rush.
Oh, Light Nature Rush. That was good times.
Yeah, I literally was...
Shaman of the Vigils? Shaman of whatever it was.
I was 1 card away from having like the full like dehydrated Haven setup, and then it was like, oh, I top decked a freaking Shaman. I was like, okay, bye.
And I just realized that no one here knows what the fuck we're going on about.
Yeah. Anyway,
sorry, guys.
Sorry. Memory lane.
David Hartley.
Sorry, last thing.
Kaijudo memories.
Last thing, because it seems I have this pattern. Made Dehydrated Haven. Someone else on our team makes it insanely better. Someone else insanely better with it. Story of my life. Anyways, go on. Okay. So favorite decks that everyone's playing right now. Literally, Reflect Shadows probably, because that's the one I'm working on right now and brewing with. The deck is just a lot of fun to play and has a lot of synergy with it. That's another deck tech spotlight that'll be up this week. It's awesome.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I'm really digging the Dark Alice that Tyler and I have been goofing around with together. I really like that deck a lot. Favorite deck of all time though is hands down never gonna stop being my blue-green tempo Crucialist. Like that deck is just fun to play. Yeah. Don't know if it's. I mean, it needs tweaking to be able to compete with what we have right now. And there's just some better options. But like that deck is just. I could sit down and play that deck for hours and just be like, just having fun.
I want to play.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I want to build a tempo deck that has black and blue in it, and it plays the new Joan of Arc Resonator, and then it plays.
I love that card so fucking
much. And then it plays Destructive Flow.
Oh my god, dude, dirty.
Like tap all their shit down, bounce.
I mean,
the deck that I'm on currently is I am playing. Dark Alice, Black Fire. There was water, but we cut the water just because there's some better options than black.
There are your shadows.
It's control. I mean, even though the curve is like really low, it's control
3.
Yeah, it's control. It's what the deck does. It's control. And the other list that I'm playing is I'm currently working on is water, fire, reflect, refrain. It's at this point I was really trying for tempo. But then I just realized how much better the aggro version of it is. So I'm playing aggro with blue because Gerda is Tits McGee.
And again, that's why someone bought out 120 of them.
I will tell you right now that I did have that deck built before the buyout. So
okay, hipster Tyler.
Get my glasses, Matt. I need to borrow some of your stuff.
Oh. Here you go. Just take my Ray-Bans.
Let's see.
So where does Sylvia fit in this format?
I think
it is.
I'll get back to you.
It is too easy to make a Sylvia player kill themselves. That's where I stand. I have played against a lot of Sylvia players, and 8 out of 10, I have been able to trick them into killing their own Sylvia.
That's funny.
Like
hilarious.
it's just too easy because like if you see a Sylvia, like, and that's why I think that honestly it's weird. Like I think this format is very kind of like polarized. Like you can play like super heavy aggro with Reflect Refrain, or you can play like super heavy control, and I think both are viable. And so like I'm more of a control player than an aggro player. So I think that like as a control player, you love seeing Sylvia flipped because you're just like, I'm never gonna play creatures and save all my spells until you flip, and then in response to you flipping, kill all your stuff. Like I've done that. Like I just left creatures on board, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave my stones up. J activate. Okay. In response, kill everything. Okay, Sylvia's dead. Bye.
In my opinion, I think that it's Sylvia mid-range.
Yeah.
That's the version to play, but don't have your deck centered, because just to talk about what Jeremy was on is don't make it centered around her J activation. Make it so that the deck has like a strong core, and then when your Sylvia comes down, is like your blowout factor. Like
yeah, she's a finisher.
Like I'm winning the
finisher.
game right now. That's your.
Yeah, she's a finisher.
She's your Gilderay. Like you want her just to come in, blow something up, swing, and then just you want them dead. That's like it, in my opinion.
Do you think there's any viable Crimson Girl builds right now?
I think it is really hard possible, but there's just stuff that's like I'm way faster than you. You don't get a chance to do what you want to do. I think everyone needs to like stay away from the whole the counter beasts that boost themselves.
Evolutions.
I don't think right now it's good at all. I think they're like really, really bad. Because they're the weird triggers where you are just going to interact and good players are just going to respond to what you're doing, and then they're going to kill your guy, and you're going to waste your mana, and you're going to feel like shit.
We've been working on just kind of a brew to like put on the channel because I think it'd be fun. But I mean, who knows? It could be really good. If the meta was maybe just a little bit slower, I think it'd be good. A black-green zombie little red, like corrupted little red, with Prissia.
Could be bad.
Because you can play a lot of green creatures and stuff, and when you flip over little red, one, she's safe, but two, when you play Arthur, none of your green stuff gets minused. So
right,
like
I got you.
Your board doesn't get minused, and then you can just say to Prissia, you can just be like, okay, now she's black, and so the Arthur pump becomes +8.
I mean,
and the necromancy also becomes +8.
Oh.
And then I rapid growth you. And
right. Yeah, I mean, that's the dream, right?
Yeah. Right. Like even just Arthur with little red with Prissia makes her a 15/15.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think maybe like if I were to build a Crimson Girl, I would play like Crimson Girl Control. Because I think that the deck that you want to play with the Crimson Girl is too slow to keep up with the aggro decks.
So you have to polarize.
So you have to like, what am I going to do to fight off that? So I think you just play like more control based, maybe some kind of mid range with like some decent interaction to keep your like opponents like key creatures off the board, and then like J activating, and then huzzah, you have like it can't be targeted by good stuff.
Yeah. Let's see.
Cocky abounds Jeremy's deck from way back when.
Somebody's asked. A couple people said something about Dark Sylvia. I'm not really sure what they're talking about.
Dark Sylvia, like a control, like a hardcore control list where you play like dark firestones, and then
you play like a Jund or like a dark fire green, but with Sylvia as your ruler. I'm not seeing where the advantage is there.
I mean, it gives you more access to like higher amounts of removal, which I can completely relate with. That's completely fine. I think it could be good because I mean, in the past, if we like rewind into the past, red, black, green control lists have been proven to be good.
Like really good.
Yeah.
Like really good playing like the Feeth things. If you guys
Flame of Outer World.
Flame
And
of
if you look
Outer
at
World,
Italy-
if you want to look back at Ken Tober's list from
Chicago?
what was it? Chicago. Was it Chicago? Yeah,
Chicago.
Chicago. That list was really good, and it just. I think it's possible. No, I think that you could do it for sure.
I'm again gonna go ahead and say this because I've said enough. But if you want a control deck, look at Italy's stuff. They are the masters of building a control deck.
PM one of those guys. They're nice guys. They'll probably talk to you. If they speak English, they'll probably talk to you.
For sure.
And it turns out they're very good at getting to this part of the game that Americans are unfamiliar with. It's called the late game. It's usually where control decks win.
Yes.
It's a part of the game that you guys should really try out sometime.
Turn 8 one time.
Turn 8 one time.
Yeah, holy cow.
I don't remember the last time I had a turn 8.
I played a game to turn 20 last night.
David Harley wants to know how much Force of Will do we actually play a day?
In terms
A
of
day? Meh.
in terms of games, I don't get to play as many games as I like. But I am with the type of job that I have that I can easily multitask with what I'm doing. I am thinking about FOW probably like around 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
I talk and ponder and deal with stuff with like the admins for the Force of Will page.
Don't
I'm
get me
theory
Like,
crafting.
I just
I'm theory
talk
crafting.
FOW.
I'm
Yeah,
probably
about 10.
crafting about 10
I
hours a
honestly think like 6-7 hours a day. But in terms of actual playing, I maybe get to play like my one feature match a week for the channel.
If I get to play, it's 3 times a week. Yeah, well, multiple games, but I go to 2 separate locals and I play about 3 times. 3 times a week. Yeah, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Yeah, if I can.
When I'm not getting destroyed by work, I play twice a week. But
If I could, I mean, what I want to do is I do want to get online, and I do want to start playing like every night. Because I think that's how I can make.
I can't. I have a daughter.
yeah,
you got a kid.
welcome.
Sorry, brah.
That's why. Hey, no. That's why I'm a YouTuber, not a professional player.
Fair enough.
Everyone wants to know which combo deck he should play, Yamada or Alice's World at his locals. He's piloted them both before. Matt already answered this in the chat, but I'm going to just take this one. Play Yamada, play the Humpty Dance, play Digital Underground. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun than Alice's
Bring your
World.
fucking boombox, rock
And
it.
and also I feel like that list has a lot less hate because Alice's World is like, I'm gonna make you sit for 30 minutes before I kill you, whereas Yamada's like, no, you're already dead. We can just move on. Like, I'll buy you a drink. I'm like, you wanna go get a drink? Like, you're dead. Let's go.
Yeah, fun times. Actually, the last time we saw a deck like Alice's World in a TCG, it got banned. So I doubt that'll ever happen here because Force Will doesn't care enough directly on like a ban list for New Frontiers.
Then they love Epoch too much.
That
He created
that too.
shit.
So please don't put your opponents through that miserable mess. Like, I'm someone who plays combo decks, and that's like my claim to fame in some other card games that are Jund. And it's like, I was playing that deck at an extremely fast pace, and I still went to time during the second game. And then, of course, I had the pleasure of looking at my opponent, looking at my hand. I am very sorry, we are in turns, and I'm going to take literally every single turn of end-of-turn procedures. Because I had, like, double Alice's World and a send back, so I'm like, cool, you don't actually get to play the rest of this match. I'm just going to sit here and play with myself, basically, while trying to combo kill you.
Hashtag Matt playing with himself.
All right, guys. Well, that looks like it's about the end of the questions, so I think we should probably wrap it up. Jeremy, thanks for joining us tonight. If you want to quickly let everybody know where they can find your stuff on the internet for those maybe 2 people in the chat who haven't seen your stuff before.
Yeah, so just youtube.com/DM073. Cool news. I don't have one. Oh, wait, can I share an image right now? Hold on.
No, because you'd have to do it through Skype, so...
Sorry. Damn it. I wanted to share I finally have my freaking channel playmatch done.
Just throw it up in the YouTube, or not the YouTube,
US
throw it
page.
up in the US page.
Okay, cool. I'll throw it up in the US page. So, like, there's that. So I got some announcements about those coming up soon. But, like, yeah, just youtube.com/DM073. The Twitter is DragonMaster073. And, like I said, we'll be live tweeting Nats as much as I can this weekend.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we look forward to watching some Nat coverage with some good commentary.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to need lots of water.
Whoa, my light's all gone. I just disappeared off the camera. Whoa.
I thought you were dead.
Boom. Sorry, I got to turn my white light back on my monitor so I can be seen. All right. All right, guys. Well, any closing thoughts from you, Matt or Tyler?
Shout out to Yamada, shout out to Chase Cosgrove for keeping the dream alive, and we'll be keeping Yamada combo alive in one form or another until he rotates. So shout out to our fiery lord of the 8 disasters, Yamada.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Chase Cosgrove because he's a sexy bitch.
Such a beast.
Also, good luck, Jeremy, with the streaming. Hope everything goes well for you down at Nats. And I hope everyone has fun at Nats. And even if you O2 drop, you can go to Disney.
We're literally like, I checked it. It's like half an hour from where we're playing to Disney.
Oh my god.
Half an hour. Like straight. Like you can just get in a car and be like, oh, X2 drop, I'm going to go to Disney World. Like.
And even if you win, you should go to Disney.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well,
again, it's O2 beers, not O2 drop. Let's get that straight. All right.
O2 beers. Yes.
O2 beers, Disney.
O2 $15 beers in Disney.
Yes.
One time.
All right, and the potato's got his cat pet. All right, and it's gone.
As he throws the cat aside.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this very last-minute / special episode of Dark Depths. We
have a happy New Year!
Yes.
Yes.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
New Year, guys. Be
Happy
safe.
New Year. And for all of the people joining you tonight on stream, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Dark Depths. Peace out.
Toodles.
Yes.
Later, guys.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, make sure to hit subscribe or check out one of our other video series. And don't forget to stop by the Forceville US website for articles, a helpful database, and more.